Anna here. Welcome to Designer Boss Lady TV. Today I'm talking with Jackie, and Jackie and I worked together. I was her mentor a couple of years ago now, I think. And today we're talking about digital magazines, one of my favorite topics. So before we dive in, I will just let Jackie say a hello and tell us a bit about who she is and what her business is.
Cool. Well, hello, everyone. It's great to be on Anna's little TV show today. So I own White Deer Graphic Design, or just White Deer, and I guess that's a business I started 3 years ago now to really I couldn't get a full-time job at an agency, and I thought, you know what, I don't really want to work at an agency anyway. So I started my own business and got a couple of killer clients who then, through word of mouth, I've just got an awesome client base and a full-time job that I love. So yeah, that's really me, I guess.
Yeah, and over the last couple of years, you've kind of become known for this digital magazine designer lady. And how did you find yourself in that position? How many magazines are you designing now?
So it just all happened by chance, I guess. It was never something I looked into doing or something that I really pursued. But one day, one of my long-term clients, who was one of my first big clients, came to me and said, "Oh, do you want to do a digital magazine for me?" I thought, yeah, why not? I've done like musical programs and I know how to use InDesign, so it can't be that hard. So I gave it a shot and really loved it. And now I do about 5 consistent magazines. Some of them are bi-weekly, some of them are monthly, some of them are seasonally. And yeah, I just really enjoy doing those magazines now.
Yeah, and on average, how many pages do you think those magazines are? So I'm thinking they're kind of like large documents and there's a lot of layout work involved.
Yes, a heck of a lot of layout work. I think probably average of 60, 70 pages. I find they tend to bulk out more than physical magazines, which I do as well, because I find that the text should be larger to be readable on screen. So when you have a normal magazine article that might go over 2 or 3 pages in a physical magazine, in a digital one, it's more like 5, 6, 7 pages, because you're spreading things out and you have paper printing, so you can put as many photos, as much text and big headings and whatever you want, really.
Yeah. I miss my digital magazine. I love that you can just kind of go crazy with it. There's no restrictions print-wise, and there's usually no restriction page number-wise, because it's not going to cost any more if it's got more pages. And you usually have creative freedom to kind of add in patterns and images, and yeah, I just miss it. And I know that you have your own digital magazine that you use as your opt-in on your website. And tell us a bit about the strategy behind that, how it actually helps you get more clients and the right clients and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I guess my target client base is women who run their own businesses. I love working with women because we have the same taste, we have the same passions, we have the same goals, I think, in our business. So that's the people I like to attract because they're who I love working with. So Anna gave me the idea when we were mentoring to start my own magazine because I had experience designing it, and it was just a really great idea because what I then went on to do was create this magazine. So I'd email different clients that I'd had contact with, because I had so many clients in different fields like health and fitness or life coaching or all these things. And so I would email them and say, "Hey, I'm starting a magazine. Would you like to write in it for me?" And then they would be like, "Yeah, sure." And so they'd email me this article. I'd find about 5 or so and pop them into this magazine that I love designing anyway. Barely took me any time at all because I've been getting so quick at it. And then what I did was make a landing page and a page on my website, and if people wanted to read the magazine, they would sign up, go on my opt-in email list, and then I'd have their contact details, and I'd be sharing wonderful advice for women in business, because that's who I was targeting with the magazines, but also women that I wanted to work with were seeing my work, seeing what I was passionate about, and yeah, it was just a really great way to get in contact with women and show off my expertise.
Yeah, and it kind of makes your clients feel really special too, that they get to contribute to something that's going to be distributed, and they're going to probably reach a whole other audience as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And you said that you're pretty quick at it now, but how long would it take you to do your own magazine toward, like, for one issue, to actually do like the content, get all the content and the design side of things as well?
Yeah, to be honest, like I'd have an email template that I'd send out, so that wasn't too difficult. I had to find the people and brainstorm that, which was probably the hardest thing for me. And then I'd just wait. I'd send that off at 2 months or so before I needed to do the magazine. I'd wait for it all to come in, put it in a folder in my file until I was ready to design it. And then after that, it's probably two hours it took me to whip it all up.
That's awesome.
I made sure that there's so many ways you can do a magazine. Because this was my own, I was like, I'm just going to go to town with this. And I did a really simple, just square pages with the text in it and photos. I didn't do fancy different levels of text or different things. I just had a style that I stuck with. I just had to copy the text in, find the photos, which took the longest, to be honest, finding the good stock photos. And so I wanted to make something that looked beautiful but wasn't time consuming for myself, that took too much time out of my business and my paid design work.
Yeah. And would you feel like it's definitely worth the effort and definitely worth, putting it out there and doing it regularly? Does it bring you new clients?
Yes and no. It was a challenge for me because once I designed it, I did it every 2 months, and to be straight into doing the next one, it was kind of a lot of effort, just mentally, I think, more than actually time consuming. So I found that difficult, but I think it was definitely worth it because not only did my current clients see my magazine offering, because most of the clients that I design magazines for have them as opt-ins, so not all my other clients get to see the design work that I do. And so I actually got a couple of current clients saying, you can design magazines too, I'd like to do that. So that was actually really cool. Plus obviously the new clients, which I didn't get a heap, but I think it got my name out there a lot, even whether it was to design magazines or a logo. It, I guess, lifted my profile and lifted my level of expertise to those who did see it or hear about it. So I think it was worthwhile, but it wasn't a walk in the park by any means.
Yeah, definitely. Just like with anything, it's a slow burn, but I do think that you are getting that kind of reputation of being known as the magazine designer, which I think is good because it's something that you love doing and that you're really good at. So before we go, I just wanted you to give us a couple of pro tips for designing digital magazine that's unique and eye-catching and that people actually want to read.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing is for wanting to read is you need to have good content, which for me, I do struggle to write. So I made sure I did have my own article in every issue it was about design, so people could see not just my design portfolio, I guess, but actually know that I knew my stuff. And then like putting together a magazine as an editor isn't a walk in a park. You need to think about the different topics you have. You need to make sure that there's maybe a theme or that your readers are going to connect with the topics and they're different enough and that they are relevant. So just making sure that there is relevant content is really important. And so my next tip would probably be to really promote the magazine after you do it. I think sometimes with lots of stuff that we do, you're like, yes, I finished the actual design stuff. And then you're like, cool, just sit back and wait for the views to come in. But that doesn't necessarily happen without you promoting it. And so as a designer, I found it easy to create graphics that I could promote on social media and put little mock-ups of the layout and promote quotes from the magazine in my Instagram and different things like that, which takes a bit of effort and making sure you actually get there because you're a bit already worn down from the designing process. But if you don't do everything, then it's not really worth even starting. So that's one of my other tips. And I think, like I mentioned before, finding good images. I think maybe just me as a designer just loves beautiful things. So to find, I used a bit of Unsplash and also some paid stock imagery because I've wanted, lots of my clients have their own photography, which is fabulous. They get each writer to input their own photos from their branding. But if you don't have that, finding like a set of stock images that all have the same feel is really important over the whole article, which is a challenge to find something that connects with your audience, isn't just pretty white girl doing her thing, but is everything that encapsulates all of your readers and their passions and their and just what they connect to. And yeah, and then obviously with the digital side of things, working out how to display your magazine, how to do the right font size, how to, and all that kind of thing. So for me, I use issue.com, which is ISSW, and they are a really good free platform, but obviously with paid versions as well, to upload your magazine, and it comes over beautifully. It has little page flips, and you can click different links inside it to promote all your different clients and your writers. Yeah, so just working out things like that is really important to think through, but it's a really rewarding process. And I find I love designing digital magazines because it's not like a flyer where you design it in half an hour, you're done. I get to spend like 5 hours fleshing out this entire magazine and going through it, and it's kind of something you can sit down and spend a good few hours on, which isn't many of my projects, so I love magazines for that reason. Yeah, I think, does that help?
Yeah, I think that definitely helps. There are a couple of points that you hit on that I think are spot on, and that's definitely one was the font size. I think for digital magazines, you really have to be aware that it needs to be larger.
Yeah.
Even though it might feel like it's kind of making your design a bit ugly, I think being able to read it is far more important than having like a nice tiny white space font. Another thing you mentioned was the promotional side of things, and I think that's so important. And a lot of people kind of feel sleazy about promoting their own business, and that's why I think it's good to have a free offer like this, like a magazine or whatever it is your niche or specialty is, because then selling a free offer doesn't feel as sleazy as saying, you know, pick me, I'm an awesome graphic designer. Yeah. So yeah, I think they're all good tips. And if you're into multi-page layout design, I think digital magazines are a great niche. And there's lots of people out there who want them for their business. And I think everyone should go check out Jackie's website as well and download her digital magazine to have a look.
Absolutely. It's good fun, and yeah, have a look, have a sticky beak. You can steal some ideas if you want, I don't mind. But yeah, it's all about just getting your business out there, and if you've got some spare time, why not try to upskill and try to just do something you're passionate about, and magazines are a great way to do that.
And it's just so much fun. There's so much freedom.
Oh, heck yes.
And it's so good to design for fun, I think.
Yes, it's very necessary.
Yeah.
You learn so much.
Thanks so much, Jackie. That was awesome.
My pleasure. Thanks for the chat.